It's the final weekend before the big Switch 2 Direct, and I expect everything just to be insanity for the next entire week. Even Monday, Tuesday leading up to the Direct will be crazy as there's countdowns, anticipation, fake rumors, some real leaks. Hopefully nothing crazy gets leaked, but there's currently a lot being talked about underneath the radar that I want to discuss in relation to Donkey Kong and Mario. I think this is very interesting, especially on the heels of my Switch 2 Direct predictions, where I said that Donkey Kong would be a big part of the show, that Donkey Kong would feature as sort of the second major game released after the initial launch onslaught, and then Mario 3D would be the third release game. Now, I want to go to two different leakers who are talking about this right now and giving some interesting teases that I think we need to prep ourselves for. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Hit that like button if you're excited for the Switch 2 Direct, and give me your thoughts on this new thread that's being discussed where Mario is missing, but Donkey Kong is there to replace him. This kind of began with Necrophilippe. Well, I'd like to say it kind of began with me talking about my prediction, but regardless, it didn't. Necrophilippe did not watch my video. He instead said, I'm going to take advantage of the joke I made on Discord and say that I'm going against all of you to say that Mario 3D won't be the second big game for the Switch 2. Will it be Donkey Kong? Have you ever thought about it? LOL, just 4 more days. Now, this could be a very innocent post like, hey, I'm going to just because everybody's saying Mario, I'm going to say it's not Mario. But then he coyly throws in there, will it be Donkey Kong? Have you ever thought about it? Because Donkey Kong has not been in the conversation at all. In fact, that's one of the reasons that I liked it so much as a prediction, because nobody was really discussing it. I think DK was kind of thrown out the window after they revealed and released Donkey Kong Country Returns earlier this year, and we were like, okay, we're not getting a new DK till the Switch 2, and I don't think people thought of DK as a system seller or as a year one title. But given DK's prominence in Nintendo's other multimedia, given Nintendo's DK theme park that's about to open up in May, maybe there's more to this. And then Nash Weedle had something similar to say about Donkey Kong. Now, this is quote tweeting Necrophilippe's post, and he says, I'll tell you what's happening on the dark side of the internet. It's been said for days that the new 3D Mario won't be coming this year, but Donkey Kong will be the star. I can't tell you about Mario 3D, but I've already told you about Donkey, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. Now, this is very interesting. Now, to me, it would be wild if Mario 3D Mario was not part of the year one Switch plans, but it could be part of the year one Switch plans, just not coming this year. And that's something that has been suggested by a number of different sources, saying that, hey, maybe Mario 3D is actually going to be next year's big, February, March game. And they'll use that as kind of like an anniversary push, a post-holiday push, once they build up the install base during the launch period and then the holiday period, and that maybe things are shifted 3 months, given that Nintendo is launching this thing 3 months later than before. If you recall, Switch 1 drops in March with a big game, and then Mario comes out basically 7-8 months later for the holiday season. But now with June launch, 7-8 months later is February, March, so maybe that's the timetable we're looking at. And that would line up with what Nash Weedle is saying is being said on the dark side of the internet. Now, I don't know exactly what he's referring to here. Are there 4chan posts? Are there Chinese forums that this is being discussed? Is he insinuating that he's heard something from his sources? That's the dark side. He says he can't tell about Mario 3D, so I feel like he genuinely has not heard anything about Mario 3D, despite people, spreading this rumor that it's not coming this year. But he has told us and heard about Donkey Kong, and he's looking forward to seeing it, implying that it's going to be there. Okay, he then goes on to follow that post up by saying, I'm just commenting on what's being said in the shadows. It's not a confirmation. So he's not staking his name on this, although he does say that Donkey Kong is something he specifically has heard. So Mario is not what he's staking his name on, and there's a chance that we get both Mario and Donkey Kong at this upcoming Wednesday Direct. And there's a chance that we get both Mario and Donkey Kong, and Mario still is not dropping this year, right? That is sort of the third option. There's option A, which is, hey, Mario's the big holiday game, and it shows up. There's option B, which is Mario doesn't show up because it's not the big holiday game. And there's option C, where Mario shows up, but it's also not the big holiday game. Would Nintendo rather go into the holidays with Pokemon Legends ZA, which we know is going to be a killer seller despite what anyone thinks about it, and a Donkey Kong game, and maybe something else, and save Mario for when the console has built up a bigger audience and for when people have recovered from holiday spending? Even though Mario is kind of like the guaranteed holiday seller, maybe they feel like Mario Kart 9 can still be that guaranteed holiday seller and they don't need to drop another huge behemoth until March. So Nash Beetle says, I don't see it strange since for the 40th anniversary celebration, the new Mario Kart, a new compilation, and the Mario Odyssey upgrade for Switch 2 could be interesting enough. And I repeat, keep an eye on DK. So Nash is drawing us back to DK, and I'm really feeling like my prediction might end up being super spicy and might end up being super hot. I was just basing it off of logic of how Nintendo has so heavily put resources into DK, yet we haven't seen anything new from DK. And there were thoughts and rumors for a while. Remember, we heard lots of things about, EPD is working on a 3D DK. DK is about to get the same evolution Kirby got. DK is going to be in a new game kind of like Mario. If DK is viewed internally as a console carrying type character, we could be in for a world where we get two big 3D games a generation, a Mario and a DK. And dude, does that sound great? What's interesting here beneath the surface as well is that Nash Beetle is implying there is going to be Mario Kart, a Mario Odyssey upgrade, and a new compilation. Now, this new compilation would be for the 40th anniversary, similar to what they did for the 35th anniversary. And if you recall, for the 35th anniversary, we got Mario 3D All-Stars, which was a great bundle, except it was missing one key game. That bundle gave us Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy, with no Mario Galaxy 2. So if this new compilation were to include Mario Galaxy 2, what the heck else would it include? What other Mario game could this be a part of? Would it be like New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Mario Galaxy 2, and New Super Mario Bros. 2 from the 3DS? Would this be Mario 3D Land, Mario Galaxy 2, and Mario Bros. Wii? I can't see them starting to shift nostalgic Mario sports titles like Mario Golf N64 into a Mario compilation, but never say never. Mario All-Stars originally was NES and SNES titles, and then Mario 3D All-Stars was the 3D games. Could they give us a new Mario All-Stars 2? Mario's Big Bash? Maybe this is the second Mario game of 2025, and therefore that allows them to save 3D Mario for the culmination and conclusion of the 40th anniversary. Remember, they had a big direct dedicated to Mario's 35th anniversary, and that did not take place during the summer. That was instead more towards the fall. I could see Nintendo operating in a very similar fashion, with Mario Kart, Metroid Prime 4, and DK being the heavy focus at Wednesday's show, a tease of Mario Odyssey, a hint towards a Mario 40th anniversary presentation, and then once they get the Switch 2 out there, once they've completed their launch plans, then have the Mario 40th Anniversary Direct, where they announce this new Mario compilation for the fall, the Mario Odyssey upgrade for the fall, and give us another trailer and a 2026 date for Mario 3D on Switch 2. Right now, I think that feels like maybe the most likely plan. Nash Beetle is not the perfect source. Necrophilippe is not the perfect source. But I do think it's interesting that both of them are subtly implying that they know about DK. Mario, they're saying like, hey, we're going to go against the trend and just say Mario's not there. Maybe Mario will be there. Maybe Mario won't. A lot of people have thought Mario could easily be shifted 7-8 months, just like Mario Odyssey was 7-8 months after launch. With Necrophilippe saying, have you thought about DK? I think that's kind of his nod without spoiling, without saying that DK is going to be a very interesting piece of the puzzle. And honestly, I'm so here for it. As cool as seeing the next iteration of Mario would be, and as great as that would be to get a glimpse of how Nintendo is taking that forward, what if they've implemented the Bowser Fury ideas into a DK game first? Now, one, that's super cool because A, it would be coming sooner, and B, it would be revitalizing Donkey Kong in a way that hasn't been done since Donkey Kong Country Returns initially released many consoles ago. And it's ironic that we just got that game back as maybe a tip of the hat to, hey, DK is ready to burgeon forward once again and give us something totally exciting and new. When Kirby got new, it was great. When Zelda got new, it was great. Maybe DK can be that next great game. Mario Kart 9 is probably a few steps forward, but I don't think it's going to be revolutionary. I think it's going to be tried and true and awesome. Maybe DK is the game that you say wow with Nintendo visuals, and the game that you say wow with what Nintendo's able to do in an open world, more futuristic, larger, huge world. Mario 3D could then be saved, and we're basically getting more games for the same price, because I don't think anybody a week ago was really talking about DK being a significant portion of the show. But now I'm totally Team DK. I get the mug this week in the mail. All of a sudden, these rumors start spreading. I make my prediction before I even read any of this stuff, and it looks like it could be coming together for a very monkey-rific show on Wednesday. Let me know how you'd feel about DK being the center of the show instead of 3D Mario. And you have to remember that Mario still features heavily because Mario Kart is like, that is the golden shrine, right? That is the centerpiece of this entire presentation. That's what they chose to show with the Switch 2 reveal. 7 seconds of Mario Kart 9. That is going to be the game that they emphasize. That is going to be the system seller. That is going to be the launch day title. That might even get a bundle, as we've heard rumored. So Mario still is there in a huge capacity, but Nintendo doesn't necessarily need to use both Mario Kart and 3D Mario. Last time with the Switch, they were coming off of a very rough cycle, and I think they needed to throw all their big guns into the cannon and let it fly. This time, maybe they've got enough third-party support and enough interesting games that have been in development for years that they're confident about, so that they're able to move things around and still leverage 3D Mario as a year one title, just not this calendar year. I'm fine with that. I think that's exciting, and personally, I'm crazed about seeing a new DK, so let us have it, Nintendo. Let me know your take in the comments down below, everybody. And until next time, we are 2 days away. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Love you lots. SwitchForce out.